Hi guys, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Anime Podcasters. Today, very exciting topic. Very excited to be joined by RG. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing fine. How about you?
Dude, I'm doing so good. I'm so excited for this topic. Today, we're going to be covering the One Punch Man himself, Saitama. That's right. We're doing a One Punch Man episode. Very exciting stuff. How excited are you, RG?
Is that what we're doing today?
Yeah, it is what we're doing today. We're going to one punch through this topic, bro.
I'll manage it. Don't worry. I'll watch the show once or twice.
Yeah, you'll manage. You'll manage your fists, and attacking every single arc and battle that this anime brings upon us. Very exciting to be covering this topic. Also, I just want to do two quick housekeeping Jaian music announcements. Obviously, the podcast has grown bigger than Jaian music, but still, I know that some people who listen to the podcast also listen to the anime music covers on YouTube. I want to say a big thank you to all of you because as I am recording this right now, my second song cover to reach 1 million streams has occurred on Spotify. So
it's over 1 million?
Had the over 1 million, the second one. So I had the Tapion theme from Dragon Ball Z, and today as we're recording this, the cover "A Mother's Love" by from One Piece has also reached 1 million streams, and the plaque is being made as we speak. I'm so excited. I just want to say a big thank you to everyone, to Spotify as a platform. I am ecstatic. It is such an honor.
Woo! Let's go, Jaian.
Yeah, thank you, buddy. Thank you. And also, I'm always looking at new things to work on for the covers, and I'm very excited to announce that all of the Jaian music catalog, so my most streamed covers, any cover over 1,000 streams on Spotify at this point, as you're listening to this, has been translated into 28 total languages, and I just want to spit them out real quick. Meaning that the titles of the songs are now available in these languages so people know the name of the song. We're talking about, they're going to be translated into Bulgarian, Chinese, Czech, Danish, Dutch, English, Estonian, Finnish, French, German, Greek, Hungarian, Indonesian, Italian, Japanese, Korean, Latvian, Lithuanian, Norwegian, Polish, Portuguese, Romanian, Russian, Slovak, Slovenian, Spanish, Swedish, Turkish, and Ukrainian. Covers, we're going multilingual up in here, bro.
I wasn't listening. Can you tell me all the language again?
That's a classic move. I do that all the time when Hotshot lists off a big thing. I'm like, can you do that one more time?
I'm not original. I was either going to say that or was like, you better put French version for me there.
Yeah, there was a French version. They will be translated in French of 100%. So I'm just very exciting times. The podcast is growing, and I'm so happy. But enough of this. Let's get right into this topic. RG, let's start off with this. What was your first impression on these 2 seasons of One Punch Man when you watched them when they were coming out?
Well, my first impression was as everyone else. I think I was surprised. I think I didn't really know where the show was going because it was another of those typical superhero show, super strength, super action. And then as we go on and we realize why this man is called One Punch, it was different. We realized it was a different kind of show. And for season 2, we were expecting a little bit more action like season 1, but I think they focused more on world building, which is not a bad thing. So I really like both seasons. How about you?
For me, this anime was all over social media when it first came out in 2015. Everyone was like saying, "There's this character, and he's super uninterested and disinterested about everything, and he's so boring, but he can KO anything with a single punch." And very quickly I understood that this is a parody anime on overpowered heroes. That's the way I interpreted it, at least. And I was very entertained from the beginning. I mean, we start the first scene, like the first episode, and there's a big guy walking across every city and destroying them. And then we got Saitama who shows up and one punches him. And then he's like, "No, it only took a single punch. That's not fair. No!" And we're like, okay, this is a different type of hero dilemma that we're dealing with right now.
Yeah, it's not about evil bad. It's about having a shutdown and having some competition for our main character.
Absolutely, absolutely. There's so many talking points I want to get into here. I just want to start with this. The concept of Saitama as a character. We're talking about someone who KOs pretty much every single opponent in a single punch. The concept of him as a hero, as a main character, as a protagonist. How did that line up for you? Were you enjoying it, or how did it feel exactly?
Well, I was really enjoying it because it wasn't about his ego. He wasn't. It wasn't having the kindness of his art dictate all of his action and being a little bit too kind and annoying. He doesn't have any like tragic backstories. He's just himself. He's just simple and he destroys everything. Yeah. So I really like this character because it's refreshing. It's not the first time that we've ever seen in my life, but a character like this, really well portrayed, and a superhero anime, that's really interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think he's one of a kind for sure. The other thing, I'm just kind of going to go through your points here. Where do you think the source of Saitama's power comes from? It was a point that you wrote into the document, and I think it's his power reps that he was doing. It was 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, 100 push-ups, and 10-kilometer runs every single day. This workout, by the way, runs much deeper than the anime, because I've seen videos on YouTube. Like, I tried the One Punch Man workout for 100 days. Here are the results.
Jaian,
isn't that the most ridiculous thing, by the way?
Could you do this, Jaian?
You know what? I was doing 100 sit-ups and 100 push-ups for about 2 weeks at one point, and then I was just like, okay, enough. Because I was like, I have to work smarter, not harder, so I'm doing smaller reps and working my way back up, you know? I think that's how you should work out. But, you know, I just can't help but to think of like Genos when he heard the backstory. He's like, Master, how did you get so strong? And he looks at him and he goes, 100 sit-ups, 100 push-ups, 100 squats, and 10-kilometer runs every single day. During the winter, turn off your heating. During the summer, turn on your heating. All of that, but still, you can't swat a little bug. I mean, there's so many things to get to here, but like, what did you think about like his backstory in that sense?
Well, it's at first I was like, oh, maybe that makes sense because this is a lot of training. But I was I was a little bit to myself, and I was like, "Oh wait, no, that doesn't make you that strong." But actually, for me, I'm a little bit spoiled because as your social media manager, I'm on TikTok, so I've seen a lot of edit of what's about to come, and I think I have an idea of where his power come from. So I cannot spoil this for you guys.
Oh, but you're limited. You're limited.
I'm limited.
I understand.
But you, Jaian, where would you think this power come from? It's not just
for me. Well, I kind of got into that earlier, but I just want to say it doesn't really come from me when we say that. It's more of the fact that, you know, I'm not the only one who's anime only viewer, so I don't want to get too into that section of the anime, which honestly I was looking at the One Punch Man wiki earlier and I was like, you know what, I just kind of scrolled down and I saw that where are we at here, the current volume, we're at volume 27 and we're at chapter 184. Like, I think I'm gonna probably read this manga in my spare time. I think it would be a great use of my time.
You don't want to wait for a fighting scene?
I think I'm just gonna jump into the manga eventually. It's definitely on that. Okay, RG. RG.
Yes,
I love the points you wrote in here, and I just kind of want to nail this next one because I think it's what a great character, great adversary, great monster. The Deep Sea King. Oh my gosh, RG. I loved when I saw that you brought this up, because the thing with this arc is that it's really the only arc where Saitama's kind of cast aside. I kind of felt like debut Namek arc when Goku's not on the planet yet, and it's just kind of up to Krillin and Goku. You see what I mean?
And Vegeta.
yeah, exactly. Vegeta as well. But, you know, at the very beginning of that arc, you know, we don't have a main character presence like the Deep Sea King. And the Deep Sea King, for me, he was the one villain that, like, for a split second convinced me that, like, you know what? Saitama versus this guy, it's going to be different this time around. It's not going to end like any other fight. You know, I feel good because Genos is trying, and then we got Moomin Rider showing up there. You know, like, what were your thoughts about the Deep Sea King?
Well, as you said, he's a really good character. It's a really good villain. He really and I think it's what the show was trying to do is to show a villain that has a potential to take on Saitama, and maybe that he was unstoppable, and all the hope was lost. But it's One Punch Man, so
Yes.
it always needs to go that way. But the reason that I wanted to draw this point is because for me, it's exactly as you said earlier. The main character wasn't there, and it really gave it the time for other character to show their color, to try, to learn. And I really like the speech of the bicycle guy, because I'm still bad at names, but I really give it
Moomin Rider.
Moon Rider?
Moomin Rider.
Moomin. What is Moomin?
Rider. I don't know. It's just that's the name, bro.
I guess it's the name. So yeah, I really love his speech. And yeah, this is why I wanted to include this scene. Really, really great scene, and really fool us for a second.
But at the same time, I really liked that we encountered, like, there was Puri Puri Prisoner versus Moomin Rider. We had Speed of Sound Sonic for a split second there, doing some damage. We had, obviously, Genos, as I mentioned earlier. But ultimately, he does get one punched by the man, and that's kind of the fate that a lot of villains in the first season go through. I mean, I also think of Boros and the whole arc, the whole alien invasion arc, for lack of a better term. That was a great finisher to the first season, in my opinion, because it felt like it was the best attempt at a confrontation for the hero force. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Here's the biggest threat we've had so far, and we're gonna take over this part of the city and this part of the city, and slowly but surely we will defeat you. But the second Saitama gets his foot into that spaceship, it's over, man. Like, I remember how the alien was like, okay, it's don't go to your left. Oh, you want me to go left? No, it's definitely on your right. I'm gonna go left. No.
Well, it really has a comedic sense, and
oh yeah,
I really like the show for that. Like, it doesn't take itself seriously. You really, as you said, you really see that it's a parody. What did you prefer between season 1 and season 2, Jaian?
Oh, I think that you put it perfectly earlier. I think you really nailed it when you said that. Season 1 had a lot more fighting, and then season 2 had a lot more character building. What I will say, I really enjoyed Garu, the villain, in season 2. I think he was probably the best villain out of the first 2 seasons. I recently actually covered his theme song, which, by the way, the Garu theme, bro, that theme is so intense. But him as a character, I really liked, because he was doing some damage. He was taking out some pretty high-ranked heroes as we were coming around. And when Saitama is out and about trying to buy a brand new wig, and he's like, "What are you doing right now?" And he just karate chops Garu, and Garu's
Don't
like,
rub me.
"What? What's going on here?"
Well,
completely flat out knocked out.
Can we talk about the fact that he won't punch everyone, but like everybody has a different level of strength, and he always managed to find the right strength for some people to get knocked out and other people to just get destroyed. Like, it's kind of fascinating in a way. Because if he knew,
it is very fascinating.
Because in a way, if he really wanted, he could pull out his punch and like try to have a fight with someone just for fun, but he doesn't do it. When it's an enemy, he goes like all out and destroy it.
Yeah, exactly. He's, he gauges his punches. It's like when he was fighting Boros, like the first few hits, they were just kind of like taps, they weren't there to like do much damage. But then when Boros is like ultimate form number 5, which I really thought was a whole parody on like Super Saiyan transformations.
Yeah.
Especially his final form looks a lot like Super Saiyan 3 is all I'm going to say. But, he actually gets a little bit more serious and like, he's like consistent punches or something like that. It's great. But going back to season 2, I really wanted to talk about, do you remember the character King?
Oh my God, King. I've seen, again, some TikTok edit, no spoiler, but what I really like about King is that everybody think he's the strongest when its only power is just to summon Saitama. Like
dude.
Like I've seen a part. I don't think it's a spoiler. Like, he's basically drinking his coffee, and like there's a bunch of assassins there to assassinate him, and and he's just like speaking to the manager about like, hey, I didn't receive my coffee, or have a good day, and everything that he say is being interpreted by another way by the assassin. He's like, oh my god, he figured us out, and like it's all the time that King is there. I'm really happy because it's always funny and it's always over the top.
Bro, he's always like there. sorry. He's always there when the villain gets knocked out and they're like, wow, man, you're so strong. And he climbs all the way up to S rank. And he's got everyone convinced he's like the strongest out there. But in reality, bro is just an otaku who wants to play his games. That's all he wants, man. He's a simple man, and I have to understand and relate to that, you know.
I think you can relate. And you know what's interesting about King? He's the only man that managed to defeat Saitama, because
what do you mean by that?
Well,
he beat him in the game.
He beat him at video games, and it's the only way that Saitama doesn't get overpowered.
Yeah. Absolutely. I can't disagree with you. That is a correct assessment, RG.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta ask you two questions.
Two questions.
First one, best punch of the whole series. What was the best punch?
I would say the punch
was the most memorable for you.
I think this is the punch where you just like one shot this guy. You know what I mean? No, all right, it's okay.
Which guy?
the bad guy.
What?
We can go on for a long time like this. I think the best punch, and when he's training with Genos. When he's training with Genos and he just punch and he stop his punch at the last seconds, and you just see like the blow of wind and the sky cut in two, and you're like, oh, what if it landed? No more sidekick.
It would have been game over, bro. It would have been.
Oh, it would have been game over.
But like, okay, I got two in mind, and I kind of need you to break the tie for me, okay? My first one is in season 1 when he punches right through the asteroid.
Yeah.
Remember, the asteroid is like coming down, and like everyone's trying everything, and he's just like, you know what? Jump, punch, asteroid, shatters everywhere. Or at the very end of season 2, when the Elder Centipede is about to charge at King, I think actually.
Yes.
Saitama just jumps in the way, and he's like, punch, and the Elder Centipede just blows into pieces.
Definitely when the one with the centipedes and King. You have King like standing straight, but inside of him he's like nervous, and he's like, this is the end. And you can see the strength. You can see the strength and the energy that's coming from the centerpiece, and seeing that being stopped by a single punch and resonating into the whole centerpiece.
Right.
I think that's just more interesting and fascinating than just a meteor that we've seen destroy in a lot of movies and series. That's nothing special for me.
Fair enough. And I feel like the Elder Centipede was a very one-noted character. He was just kind of a villain that just like stayed on the ground and just attacked, and there was not much to that character in my opinion. But I think you're absolutely right.
I
had my second question. I want to get to
you're right.
Okay, but yeah, I just want to finish my second question, and I will for sure answer what you have coming next. Favorite fight of the whole series? Which one was your favorite fight of the whole series?
I would like a fight that doesn't include Saitama because it's too quick. I guess my favorite fight, I guess it would be the tournament arc. I really like those more simple fight, and at the end, like, I don't remember the name of the guy, but he's the cocky one. There's only one guy who's cocky.
Yeah, the long hair guy?
Yeah, long hair guys, brown skin.
Yeah.
And he's like doing martial art, and he's like, nobody can defeat me. I really like his move and everything.
I am the best ever.
I'm the best ever. I do not need to improve. And then he gets not only he gets beat up by, I think, Saitama, but he gets beat up by all the monster, and he's like, I definitely need to improve. And what about you, Jaian? What is your favorite fight?
Oh my gosh. So my favorite fight, I think it's in the second or third episode of the first season, if I'm not mistaken. Bro, Saitama versus Carnage Kabuto. When Carnage Kabuto goes on Carnage mode for a whole week until Sunday of next week, and Saitama flinches, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, he's got him. This One Punch Man is about to get destroyed by Carnage Kabuto, and he starts getting pinged and ponged in true Rock Lee fashion. 5 Gates Rock Lee, just ping-ponging you across the room, destroying everything. And Saitama's like, oh my gosh, inadvertently made a huge mistake. I can't believe he's going to be on a rampage until Saturday next week or Sunday next week, which means that and he just takes out his arm and punches through Carnage Kabuto, which means that today's bargain day at the grocery market. And the scientists and Genos are there, wide mouth open, and they're like, what is this? This guy is such an anomaly that it basically made the scientists restructure and rethink all of the science he's ever come up with. He's like, this makes no sense. I gotta head back to the lab, bro. I'm outie, bro. It doesn't make sense. And then they rush back to the grocery store to make it because there was a sale.
Yeah, he's something. Saitama doesn't have any really big motive. Instead of being a hero for fun, as you said, he just wants to do good things.
He's a total adult.
Yeah, he's a total adult. But I think it's what's interesting about him. He doesn't care about being the best about anything. He just cares about being fun and helping people. And he does it in his own way, because there's a lot of other superheroes. It's like, I save the world and I have fun, like Deadpool. But it's so different from this character.
Yes. But RG, what did you want to ask me exactly?
I wanted to ask you. So somebody told me, Jaian, after like our 1, 2, 3, 10 years of friendship, that you were working with sounds. Am I correct?
Yeah, I do a little bit of sound.
A little bit?
Probably
a little bit?
A little bit. A lot of it. Especially anime sounds with music and podcasting. But anyways, nonetheless.
So Jan, as you know, for every movie and every series, like there's a lot of sound effect for punching, music, and everything. And for you, who has a better ear than us to see those details, what did you think about the soundtrack of One Punch and the sound design?
So, okay, the first thing is One Punch Man has a very eclectic soundtrack. I'm talking about the music here. We have very epic, metal-esque, distorted, high-energy songs that build and support the story, which is really the main point of the music. But then you also have
so much right now.
Slower, but then we have slower and more emotional, relatable tracks, such as the Sad Theme. The Sad Theme is an incredible track that I really love personally, because
which you can see on my YouTube channel, Jaian Music. Go ahead.
We have the version with the acoustic guitar kind of twanging there, and it's like King and One Punch and Saitama, kicking it back and walking down the street. Or then you have the piano version, which is like super emotional. So altogether, amazing soundtrack. This is extremely professional, especially the opening song. Oh my gosh, Hero. It's such a hype. Did you ever see Hero played in a live concert?
No.
Oh my gosh, RG, I'm not kidding. It's a show. Like, they got like fire shooting and everything. I love it.
Have you ever been to the show?
I love it.
Have you ever been to the show, Jaian?
No. I've never been to the show.
You speak like you've been to the show.
And then, no, I saw it on YouTube.
Okay.
Then when we talk about the sound design here, we have different categories that I kind of want to go over. First of all, the ambiances. Very subtle, but very well made. Whenever we're in a park or whenever we're in a city area or in a lab, you really feel the environment around you, because the ambience really sets like where we're at. And then what I also really enjoyed is all the Foley sound effects. So like all the punches are so multi-layered. I can hear it. I can hear high-end energy. I can hear low-end booms. The explosions have energy. Everything. Obviously, explosions aren't Foley, but all the nonetheless, it just is well dynamically placed, and just very much supports the story as well.
Yeah.
So for me, the audio here is perfect.
Yeah. For me, as someone who has knowledge as like you when you were 5 years old of the sound design. I really like, as you were saying, the punch sound. I really like it. Like you feel the strength of big punch, small punch. And I really like when they go in the opening and they just scream out one punch. Really loved it.
Yeah. That's the opening. The opening track.
This is my take on the sound.
Hey, it's close enough, right?
Close enough, you know.
We have to.
When we'll have a
about-
show about finance, I could be able to explain more.
Yeah. Okay, we have to talk about Genos, a very sidekick-like character, but although I think he can really hold his own, there's a couple of OVAs, I think, between season 1 and season 2, and Genos has his own, I believe.
How many times he gets his ass beat, though?
I know. I get it. But he is a great character nonetheless. I love Genos. What are your thoughts on Genos?
You kind of have a Krillin arc where you can count on almost two hands the number of times that he gets beaten and destroyed and almost
Fair.
But yeah, I really like his character. Like he's really kind. He's a little bit oblivious at times, and he's driven by vengeance at first. But like I think that kind of get out of the way at a certain point, and I love that he wants to learn from Saitama. But at a certain points, you just realize that as like him is like, what are you gonna learn? What you gonna learn from him? You're never gonna like one punch people like him. So yeah, I like him, but if it was any other character that would have replaced him, I would have been mad.
For me, I think he was amazing. I think one of my favorite attacks from him is his incineration cannon. Like, do you remember? Like, I think it's like all the bugs are basically like covering him, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna fight bug with fire. Fire with fire, no, bug with fire. And he just basically rips them all apart. And then he has like arm mode where like his like arms like detach from him and all this stuff. Oh, he's such a cool character. He's very
Jaian,
over exaggerated, but cool. Yeah.
But every character that has like heavy lights and loud noise is your favorite character. This is why you watch like all the season of Dragon Balls.
No. Don't give me that. No. I love Light Yagami. Light Yagami is not, big lights and okay, wait, I see light and then big lights.
When he's done his speech, there's a lot of lights. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
But
so,
okay, Jaian.
anyways, let's go to your next point.
We love you like that.
Let's see
we
here.
love you like that.
We love you like that.
Yes, if there's any more topic that you wanted to discuss, did you have maybe, for example,
Yes.
favorite? Yeah, but what do you think about the system of the hero association?
Oh, it's so dumb. I used to be a fan. But when I see that you're Saitama and you're running around the city, it's like, oh, is your cat stuck in a tree? Let me get it down for you. Did you need me to walk you across the street? Let me help you out. Just to get up there, it's like, I understand why it's there. Like, there's a logic to it. We got like Tatsumaki or like Metal Bat, like heroes like that who are in the S rank, or like Genos, as we previously mentioned. And I understand like they separate from the rest, obviously. But like the fact of the matter is, none of these compare to Saitama. Which, by the way, his qualifier workout or exam, whatever you want to call it, to become a hero, ranked in the Hero Association, was hysterical. He's there, it's like, all right, jumps, and he just jumps, and his head goes through the ceiling.
Yeah,
or like,
I remember
all right,
that.
punch machine, and he punches the machine, like he pulls a Vegeta during the Buu arc, when they're like, all right, so let's rank your punch power, and it, Vegeta busts the machine.
Yeah.
Saitama's got that same energy.
I don't understand with such physical strength. They were like, yeah, definitely sea level hero.
I
and
have
then
a thought
he
here.
defeats like the deep seeking. He's like, you know what, B level, it's cool. Like the S level couldn't beat it, but yeah, you B level, it's okay.
So I think it has to do with attitude. I think it has to do with like
Does
motivation
it?
and attitude. I think he's not.
Is the attitude
He's
of
not
as an S
driven
rank
enough.
that better of him? Like what do we have in S rank? We have a little lolly that is a little bit displeased with everything.
Hey, I'm not saying the S rank has a better attitude. I just think that a better attitude, or like a more positive driven attitude from him, would warrant a higher ranking. You see what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying, but I'm saying like top rank, not the best example for attitude. I think it's just for the show, because doesn't make any sense for me. Doesn't.
And then when we talked about memorable characters, let's see here. Okay, One Punch Man's influence on the genre as a simplistic, overpowered superhero. What did you mean about this exactly?
Wait, what did I mean? So One Punch Man. So I think it kind of influenced the super genre of having like overpowered character, because I think that people really enjoy this, and I think that it kind of rebounds a little bit on the isekai genre, which has plenty and not almost all powerful one-shot character.
You see, I'm not familiar enough on the isekai genre, but we will have an episode about this soon enough. We will.
You will, Jaian.
The thing is, I just see this anime, this character, this superhero, however you want to categorize it, as a parody on overpowered superheroes, or like on just superhero genres in general. Like, I just feel like this guy, rips into characters like All Might or Deku a little bit, or other heroes. It's there to make fun of anime. For example, remember the amount of villains that start going on this speech, like for example, Speed of Sound Sonic. I am from this village. No, and Saitama's just there like, while all the while you're hearing blah 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 blah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, really cool.
Are you the same when you talk about your dreams?
Punch you in the face. But you see what I mean? I think it's more about that, and honestly, I'm not sure how it's influenced anime after its release, but I'm sure it's had an influence. It's a heavily influential anime.
Well, if we look at it, I just want to see something, because One Punch Man, I think the anime went out in around 2009, if I'm not miscorrect.
2015.
2015. Oh, okay, and I just want to see. In which year? Oh, okay, my bad. Because I thought that Sword Art Online came afterwards. I was like, oh, maybe that.
No, it came before. No.
Oh, so Jaian, you know the date.
I remember hearing about Sword Art before.
Oh, okay, I was like, you remember it, so you're a fan. Jaian, fan of SAO, confirm.
Yeah, first season, yes. The rest, no.
Yeah, you do well. You don't want to see the rest.
That's how I feel about SAO. No, I tried Gun Gale and I was like, bro, no, merci, no, thank you, no.
Exactement.
Yeah. So all that to say, let's maybe start giving our final thoughts on One Punch Man, or if there's anything else that you wanted to bring up, RG, go ahead.
No, I think that was pretty much all the subject. All I would like to say to end up the discussion is, well, great series, great sound, great character with originality, and read the manga. But I've seen some clips of the manga, and I'm pretty excited, because I think that's what's to come is going to be even better than the first season. There's going to be phenomenal fights.
Yeah. I am super happy that this anime was made. It's great. It's great. And all I want to say is that I've been hearing through the Twitter grapevine that 2024 is the year for season 3. Season 3 is something I want, RG wants, Hotshot wants, GoProKyo wants, the fans want, and I understand that this anime kind of went through a studio switch up, I think, between the first 2 seasons, and I understand that these things are highly difficult
controversial.
To produce, and there's like easily no, not controversial. Just it's hard to it's anime. It's a huge show. We're talking about thousands of hours, of work, and I understand that like this can like take a long time. But I'm just excited, and I understand take all the time you need. But eventually, as long as we get something, eventually, I'm more than happy. And the last thing I want to say is, did you see the death battle with Saitama?
No, Jaian.
Did you?
I know you love this YouTube channel, but I don't watch it.
Okay, well, do you remember Popeye?
I remember
Popeye the pirate?
Yes.
No, he's not a pirate. Popeye, yeah. They did a Popeye versus Saitama death battle. I'm not going to spoil who wins, but I loved that death battle so much. Go watch Saitama versus Popeye. That's all I'm going to say. All right, So, RG, what did you want to tell the people before going? What is your closing words here in terms of this topic? Just one final thought for me.
One final thought. One punch. That's it.
Yes, I think that's the best way to put it.
What about you, Jaian?
For myself, thank you for asking. Honestly, One Punch, fantastic anime. And stick around because the next episode we're going to be covering Mob Psycho 100. We're recording it right now, but you can't listen to it right now, and that's okay. So for myself and RG and Hotshot, who isn't here, and GoProKyo, who isn't here, this has been a brand new episode of
Anime Podcasters.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Hey guys, Hotshot here. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Anime Podcasters. We have over 100 other episodes for your entertainment found wherever podcasts are available, such as Spotify. We also release new episodes twice a month, so keep an ear out for us. You can follow the podcast at Anime Podcasters on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Jaian Music's YouTube channel. Jaian himself can be found on social media at Jaian Music, as well as his own website, jaianmusic.com. Kyo, our artist for the podcast, can be found on Twitter and YouTube at GoProKyo, as well as his website, ccartgalleryportfolio.com. As for me, Hotshot, you can find me on YouTube and Twitter at HotshotGinger. As always, guys, thanks for listening to us. Hope to talk to you soon. Take care.